Oh, what a finish here at the SCG. Sydney through to the grand final in unbelievable fashion. 10 goals, 10-70 to Essendon, 10-9-69. If we have a look at the breakdown, Gerard, I've got to confess, I was so excited in that final quarter in the closing stage that I didn't know if Locker kicked a goal or a behind. The Roar took over.
It didn't really matter, but officially he kicked the behind. But you could see from that graphic there that it was a game where at various sides, both sides looked to have the game in control as we go down into the Sydney Swans rooms, and Mike Willisey there.
He's always been a great supporter.
He took over the club as president in 1989 and certainly saw many, many bad times before the triumph of tonight.
Richard Collis, of course, will be over the moon, the club chairman. But they've now got to put their heads down and look towards next week. But with the euphoria that has taken over this ground, there are goalposts, there are behind posts missing. I suppose they don't need them for the rest of the year here, so it doesn't really matter. But
I think Tony souvenired one.
There they are. Look. In fact, I think one's maybe lying on the ground. I think they're both lying on the ground. But have you seen scenes like that, especially in a preliminary final? I'm not talking about a grand final.
Well, and I think we've got to keep in mind the job is still yet to be done for the Sydney Swans.
Yes,
They won't be happy with just a preliminary final, although they'll be absolutely jubilant down there. But look, you can spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on marketing. You can you can have all the television commercials you like, but it's a game like that, a result like that will do more for the development of football in the northern states than anything else possible. It was just an exasperating game, really, and I guess we're full of joy for the Swans, but you've got to remember that it took two teams to put on such a great display. And I really thought in the last 10 minutes that the Swans had shot their bolt, really. They looked tired, they looked as if they were lacking in system, and they looked as if they were playing just for the draw almost, but all of a sudden they turned it around and got those two very late goals, and then the behind from Lockett.
Yes, it's just an incredible game. Here's the old combination, the old pairing of O'Donnell and Harvey.
Well, that was an important goal for the Bombers. It came from the experienced players, Somerville down to Harvey to O'Donnell. That basically got the Bombers back going again. I think they then started to believe that they could get back on top and win this game. And they're a side that very rarely gets beaten by too much. And at that stage, I thought, well, this game's still well and truly up for grabs. I thought Dale Lewis's performance up forward, he kicked 3 goals, including a vital one in the last quarter, was terrific. Alessio was dangerous at various stages, and I think Alessio and Somerville worked very hard to get over the top of Greg Stafford, but he stood up when it counted. I think he faded in the third term. That last term, those all-important centre bounces, he just got his hand on it at the appropriate time.
Actually, it is a funny old game, isn't it? I mean, Hawthorn, if you go back a few weeks, Hawthorn are basically a kick out of a grand final.
They were, yes.
It's incredible. Well, the man who used to play for Hawthorn, in fact, was in 4 of their premiership sides, is now the Sydney coach, Eade. I bet he's relieved, Dipper. I bet he's happy. Sensational performance. Over to you.
Thanks very much, Andy. Well, Rodney, this has become a common occurrence. First, congratulations and a terrific effort by both sides, but your boys, you couldn't write the script better than that one.
No, it was fantastic. Excuse my voice. Yeah, I think both sides had a fair dinkum go tonight. I mean, I think you have to pay credit to the Essendon Footy Club. They've been a fantastic team over a long period of time, and when we looked like we might be streaking away with, they fought back, and then I think credit to our guys in the end. I think it just shows the spirit and commitment that a lot of the players, the Sydney Football Club has got, and take my hat off to all our players. They're fantastic.
I mean, the Bombers started off a terrific first quarter there, and we did notice you in the first quarter have a go at your players there, but they did respond in the second quarter. But it's been a terrific long week for you guys in Sydney.
Yeah, I mean, the Sydney public have really got behind us. It was fantastic. We started off a bit shakily again, and I think just a couple of players at the first quarter just done things rather than make big mistakes. And I think our second quarter was fantastic. I thought we might be able to split it open there at the start of the third quarter, but to Essendon's credit, they really fought back. I thought in the end when they got 2 goals up with 3 or 4 minutes to play, maybe it was the end of it, but fortunately in the end we got the points.
And with Tony Lockett, I mean, the big question was he going to play, if and when did you know he was going to play, and was it sort of a decision the club had to make he was going to play tonight?
Oh no, that he was always going to play. Certainly after we beat Hawthorn, he was always going to play. He had a little bit of a setback on Tuesday night, which the media picked up and ran with and thought it was some sort of ploy, but it certainly wasn't, and that we just stuck to the truth. we said he was going to play, and as it turned out, he did.
Now, you're in the grand final. You've been there before in reserves and also at Hawthorn. And of course, you're coming against North Melbourne, where you spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, so it'll certainly be a big contest. North have had a fantastic year, and now they've been the proven finals campaign over the last 4 seasons. So we'll have a fair dinkum battle on our hands, and hopefully we can get up.
Well, thanks, Rodney, and we'll see you next week in the grand final, and a terrific win.
Thanks very much, Bertie. Thanks a lot.
Yes, a wonderful performance. Actually, isn't it amazing, Jared? And this is the centenary year. Ross Oakley, who's tried so hard and is bowing out to get a national competition going. And as he says farewell, he sees an interstate side like Sydney. I know we've seen the West Coast Eagles, but now this confirms that the national competition is truly flourishing.
Yes, but I guess one expected at the start of the season that if it was to be an interstate side from the north, it would well have been, would probably have been Brisbane.
Yeah, let's have a look at the remainder of these highlights, because the third and fourth quarters, to say the least, were quite dramatic.
It was a great battle between Roos and Hurd all night. I think Hurd played another great game. He bobbed up for a goal or two, and Roos wasn't too beat tonight. He also kept him in check and also was creative.
How was that for a goal?
That was an absolutely stunning goal from Simons. He was, well, he was under the pump from Robbo there for a second or two, but then he came back.
He doesn't like the set shots, and this is when it opened up for Sydney, and they came back with Stuart Maxfield having an absolute paddock and
Great
getting it down to Dale Lewis.
He just read that little bit better, and Maxfield did the right thing and kept running. I thought he might have gone all the way and had a crack at it himself, but a pretty smart pass. That was the great hands, I said, of Chapman. Really did set them alight. This one from Lockett, bit of a gamble, I thought, going inboard, but got it to Darren Cresswell, who didn't let him down.
Yes, and that, of course, tied everything up, and then it came down to that one final kick. Kevin Sheedy and his men, fantastic in defeat, but they are out of the race for 1996. Jim Wilson is with the master coach from Windy Hill now. Jim?
Yes, Sandy, obviously a bit of disappointment for the Bombers, hoping to get that spot in the grand final. It wasn't to be. They've just been behind closed doors. Kevin Sheedy joins us. Well, huge disappointment, obviously.
Yeah, it is. You know, we let the Swans back in that last 4 minutes when we're 2 goals ahead. And Sydney deserved their win because it's played right to the siren. They've worked very hard at getting football right up here. It'll probably be the greatest lift to football. From that point of view, north of the Murray, that and Brisbane's performances this year. But as far as Essendon's concerned, and I'm concerned, naturally we're very, very disappointed.
What have you just said to the players behind closed doors? Obviously, huge disappointment for them to come so close.
Well, I mean, to be 2 goals up and let that lead slip isn't good enough, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the players that dropped off in that last probably 3 or 4 minutes, whilst, you know, we're beating games like that, we've probably been beaten in preliminary finals and grand finals before, but if our team this year doesn't learn by that, then, you know, we'll be a very big disappointment for myself and the coaching staff and the players, because, you know, you're probably a kick-off a grand final and you may as well come last.
Did you think there at the last quarter that you did have it, that it was that the game was won?
We had every opportunity. We made a couple of errors. We kicked the ball short when we probably could have kicked it longer to the goal square. We were 2 goals up, and a couple of players rebounded the ball, got the ball down quickly, and of course probably Lockett kicking the goal. Well, I still probably work with my players. I'd rather have my six-man forward line, and our younger players will come up. They'll learn by tonight, and hopefully that'll take us on a better step next year.
Okay, thanks for your time. And Sandy, obviously, plenty of tears here in the Essendon dressing room, tears of disappointment. For now, it's back to you in the commentary position.
Yes, thank you, Jim. Jim Wilson there with Kevin Sheedy, now looking towards his 17th year at Windy Hill. And I'm quite sure that the Essendon Football Club will learn from this defeat here at the SCG. Sydney is into the grand final as we take a break.
Aussie rules, I thank you for the best year of our lives. All those hazy, crazy young days, all those fun days in ever.
I'm looking at the grand final medal this year.
Well, actually, I'm going to get the John Coleman, Brownlow, Norm Smith and the grand final win.
Collect all 4 AFL Centenary medals. They're $1 each with any burger or muffin purchase at McDonald's.